come to the plate today. And this one gets away from Odegaard and down in the dirt. Hops over Miller's head, so Keikoa will easily move over to the third. But as I was saying, both Munoz brothers have scored each time they've had plate appearances today. And we'll see if Kanoa can keep it going here by getting on base. Full count now. Pops one up over on the right side. Does Tristan Miller have a play on it? No, he does not, as it goes out of play. Our count will stay full here on Munoz. Payoff pitch here for Odegaard. Swung on and up the left side, foul ball. And so Kanoa Munoz keeping himself alive. Didn't quite get our payoff on that pitch, but we'll see if we get it here, as our count will stay full, of course. Once again, 6-0, the score on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Another full count pitch to Munoz. This one's going to be outside, and Kanoa Munoz will take first base for free, walking for the second inning in a row. So identical starts to the innings, 2 in a row here. Top of the third, we saw Keikoa Munoz double, and then Kanoa Munoz walk, and then same thing here again in the fourth. Now up to the plate, number 18, Andrew Eby, the third baseman. He has 2 doubles so far today. We'll see if he can make it a third right here. Throw over by Odegaard is going to be in time, as they are able to pick off Kanoa Munoz. And that's going to be out number 1. A nice pickoff move there by Casey Odegaard. Very quick and a good throw over. And so Munoz will head back to the dugout after the field umpire, Lloyd Mosley, calls him out over at first. Nice tag by Fieros as well, as Casey Odegaard drops a nice pitch in there on Eby. Moves the count to 0-1 here now with 1 out, and a runner on third. Once again, Keikoa Munoz over there after his leadoff double. This one swung on and at the shortstop leverage and hops over his head and out into center, and that's going to bring home Keikoa Munoz for another Ace Hardware score. That's going to be our 7th of the day, as the score is now 7-0 on the Tioga Medical Center scoreboard, and Andrew Eby picks himself up an RBI as he singles out there to center. Eight hits now on the day for the Blue Sox, as they've also done a good job of converting those into runs. At the plate, number 26, Will Mayo for the 3rd time, and he takes a big cut at that one and comes up empty, moves the count to 0-1. Mayo 0 for 1 today, struck out in the first inning, walked in the third. 0-1 now from Odegaard. Big swooping pitch there, but drops a little bit too low. Moves the count to 1-1. Just one runner on at the moment for Surrey. That's Andrew Eby, after Keikoa Munoz was able to come score on Eby's single. Odegaard attempts another pickoff over at first. Unsuccessful this time, as Eby was a little bit quicker to get back than Munoz was. One and one to Mayo. Going to be low and away, and now Tristan Miller going to try the backdoor pickoff. A nice throw there by the young catcher, but not quite in time as Eby gets back in there. 2-1 the count now on Mayo. Two balls and one strike here for Will Mayo. Pitch from Odegaard going to be high, and it's going to move our count to 3-1. Three-one swung on, and a high fly ball out into left field. Looks like Loveridge is tracking, and Yerk Loveridge able to make the play out there in shallow left field. So Will Mayo with a little fly out there. And so one man will stay on first, and now 2 outs taken care of there by the Patriots.
Nice play by Yerk. Back in action here, Carter. Got a lot of technical stuff going on here, trying to get everything going with this stream. We got Nicholas Walla, man in the producing chair for us this afternoon. So big shout out, big thanks to Nicholas Walla helping us out at the producer. Very quick to action to get everything going. But as of right now, we are streaming. We are live. We're good to go.
I'm glad you could figure that out, David.
Don't
Great job.
they say what can go wrong will go wrong? Isn't that one of the most famous sayings probably ever invented, ever said? But Yeah, sometimes you have some technical issues, but fortunately we're able to get them figured out. So,
well, unfortunately for the Patriots, they're struggling a little bit today here with Surrey, but now Odegaard able to get an 0-2 count here on Percival, as this time, though, it's going to be a little inside, moves it to 1-2. 2 outs now taken care of by the Patriots. Once again, they trail 7-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard here in the top of the 4th inning against the Surrey Blue Sox. This one going to be way outside from Odegaard. Nice grab there by Tristan Miller. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now. Percival is going to lay back on that one. It was outside and low. Got away from Miller a little bit there. So taking off for second base was Eby, and in there quite easily. So runner in scoring position now for Percival. Full count and 2 outs. This one swung on a little dribbler up the left side. Ash Weathersby makes the play and throws it across the diamond. This one's going to get past Fierros. So now rounding third and heading home is Andrew Eby, and he is going to score the 8th run today for the Surrey Blue Sox. Another Ace Hardware run scored there by the Blue Sox. Moves our score to 8-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard, as it's Percival able to bat in Eby.
Nice bit of running by Andrew Eby. You know, was able to throw, kind of got away. Was able to get around from second and home, and then Evan Percival was able to run it out. A low throw, wasn't able to be picked on by James Fierros, headed over to second base. You know, always good base running helps you advance and it helps you get down the line.
And so Percival standing over at second now, and at the plate, number 24, Luke Wegner, the right fielder. Wegner today I don't know if he technically has a real at bat. He struck out, or no, I guess he does. He's 0 for 1, struck out the first time, but the second time he reached base on that interference play. So I guess I'm not even exactly sure how you score that for the guy that was at the plate when he reaches bag on an interference play, but the guy who made the interference is out. Nevertheless, 1-2 is the count on him this time in the 4th inning as he hits a ball hard down the left field line. And that one's going to drop right in front of the fence. And so coming home is Percival. Heading for second is going to be Wegner. And he's going to hold up there. A well-hit ball there from Luke Wegner gets him an RBI along with a double. And the Blue Sox put another run on the board, now 9-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard as Percival crosses the plate for another Ace Hardware run.
Hard, like you said, a hard drive. One hop the fence, hit the base of the fence, and left fielder Nevada Meyer, you know, the urgency to get over to the ball to try minimize the damage for Casey up on the bump, but it's kind of jogging over to the play. Is you want to get over there and get the ball into the shortstop for a cutoff and minimize the damage. But I think for sure Evan Percival or Luke Wegner would have for sure got to second anyway. It was a true hit double, I think. But
absolutely,
the urgency to get over there to make the play to relay it in has got to happen. That comes with playing baseball.
Yeah, I feel like if Surrey really wanted to be aggressive there, he probably could have even made it to 3 if he really wanted to. But this one's a high hit ball out into left field. Meyer tracking now and unable to make the play. And so coming home will be Wegner, as Fimwright now going for second, as the ball still took a while to get in there after the air out there and left. And so another score there for the Blue Sox, 10-0. Now our score, as for the second inning in a row, the Blue Sox have put 4 Ace Hardware runs across the plate.
Yeah, as we just talked about, the urgency to get the ball in. I didn't see what was going on. Kind of tough to see that far out of here, but the urgency, you know, you got to go 100% all the time for after the play. Even though you'd miss it, you drop it, you have a chance to kind of relive the play when the ball's out of your hands back into the infield.
Odegaard with a pickoff attempt here back at second on Fimwright is unsuccessful. So yeah, now 3 errors on the board here for the Patriots, which is never going to help you win ball games. It also does not help that Surrey is, quite frankly, just hitting the heck out of the ball right now.
They're seeing the ball really well. You know, they it's not by luck. I'm sure they put a lot of time in the cage. When we were over there for football, they do have a nice big backstop that they're able to move around, and that comes, you know, like the clamshell type backstop. They've got a really nice facility over there, right over by their football field off of Highway 2, east of Minot. But the the effort is put in. They for sure have the effort. They have the understanding of what it needs to, what it takes to become a top-tier program, high school and Legion ball.
So Odegaard struggling a little bit here with Fimwright, 3-0 the count. This time, though, he's able to find the strike zone and moves it to a 3-1 count. Once again, 2 outs and a runner on second here for the Blue Sox. Unfortunately for the Patriots, since that second out, we've seen 2 runs score. Now a throw down the third as pretty quick play there. Trying to make sure we had the scorebook right here. And now Patriots getting caught sleeping again, but they are able to get lucky here as Hughes runs into the tag at second. Quick little recap in case you couldn't quite catch up on the camera either. Fimwright took off for third after a little bit of a wild pitch, or excuse me, the walk on the wild pitch. And then Miller tried getting on the pick over at third, and then Ashton Weathersby caught the ball. It was a little slow to kind of realize what was going on as Hughes was headed for second, but luckily for the Patriots, Weston Lellum was able to put the tag on him for the third out here in the top of the 4th inning. So as we head to the bottom of the 4th, our score 10-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. For Carter Longy and David Peterson, we'll be right back on Game Day Media.
The Bank of Tioga, with locations in Tioga and Crosby, North Dakota. Come and talk to us about all your financial needs. Whether it's agriculture, business, investments, or personal banking, we have the right product for you. Call our Tioga Bank at 701-664-3388 or our Crosby Bank at 701-965-6333 to discuss your needs with us. Ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center, great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day.
Welcome back to Patriot Field. Carter Longy and David Peterson here with Game Day Media, bringing you today's game between the post-139 Tioga Patriots at home today, taking on the Surrey Blue Sox. At the plate here in the bottom of the 4th for the Patriots is number 14, James Fieros, the first baseman, starting out with a 1-1 count here against Munoz. Once again, our score 10-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. It's been all Blue Sox so far today in Tioga.
A big commitment from James coming over from Stanley, playing for Coach Corey Rice. Corey Anderson, I think his name is, over in Stanley for the Stanley Blue Jays, head baseball coach over in Stanley. Stanley wasn't able to field a Legion team due to maybe some lack of interest. There was some talk between some Tioga kids going over to Ray kids coming to Tioga, Stanley, they're interchanging there, but ultimately James decided to make the right decision and come to Tioga and play baseball for the Patriots, and kind of off to a slow start, but during the high school season he did play a really nice third base for the Blue Jays, but once foe and now friends.
Yeah, struggled here and there at the plate so far, but hasn't had too bad of a year so far. He's been hitting .333 from the plate and also leading the team with RBIs with 11.
Yeah, I mean, he got one of the RBIs against Ray just the other night. Was it a week ago Monday, where he got the conventional bases loaded, bottom of the 7th, 2 out, 2 on count, and hit by a pitch for an RBI. Probably the easiest RBI he'll have his whole career.
That one was against Crosby.
Was it Crosby? Yeah, Crosby.
But same play nonetheless, as he picks up a walk there on 4 balls from Munoz. So a leadoff runner on for the Patriots, as coming to the plate will be number 6, Dominic Fosberg. Fosberg struck out in his first appearance at the plate. We'll see if he can avoid that fate this time.
That was a real good game between Crosby and Tioga. It's one of those games that you didn't really want to end because both teams were playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Brennan pitched a heck of a game and closed it out, and unfortunately Rylan Fennell for the Crosby Cubs pitched a whale of a game too. They put it on to some relief, and the closer kind of come in, and loaded the bases, took one on the team, and then plunked him right in the back between the 1 and the 4 on James's back, and kind of not a whole lot of people, the baseball IQ, not a whole lot of people kind of understood what happened, but Tioga ended up winning the game there off the walk-off hit by pitch. So another learning moment for these young Patriots.
Tioga only had one man on base, too, with 2 outs before the lineup turnover. Weston Lallum got on with a leadoff single up the right side, and then they had 2 strikeouts, I believe, in a row before they got back to the top with Casey, and then they got the bases loaded up, and Weston scored, and then Casey got walked in for the win as Dominic Fosberg goes down looking. That's going to be strikeout number 6 for Munoz.
Yeah, as a little recap of the game, Brennan Johnson come up. He put the ball in play and got that run to score. I believe, no, he got walked. And then there was a hit to where Weston came in to tie it. The bases were still loaded. And after that, they were able to get the hit by pitch and walk in the winning run on a non-counter. So the Patriots have 2 wins on the season, one against Crosby in a non-counter. I think they're 0-8. I think they're 0-8 maybe.
Weathersby puts one into play here. It's a ball into shallow left center as it's collected by the shortstop Munoz. And so a little fly out to the shortstop there for Weathersby is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Once again, our score 10-0 in favor of the Surrey Blue Sox on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Coming to the plate now for the Patriots, number 25, Weston Lallum, the second baseman. Struck out his first time at the plate in the 2nd inning. See if he can change it up this time in the bottom of the 4th. One and 0 to Lallum, swung on and a little tick, but doesn't matter. It's going to go down as a strike either way. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch number 2 to Weston Lallum is high and away. 2-1 the count. Munoz has tried picking off Fierros over there at first a couple of times. Has not been successful so far as Lallum swings and misses at that one. Kind of got happy feet there right as that one was coming in. A lot of shuffling going on before he eventually took a swing at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first. Munoz the pitch, going to be outside. So a full count now to Weston Lallum. And this next pitch will determine whether this inning will continue or not. Full count and 2 outs. Pitch from Munoz. Going to be inside on Lallum, so he'll take first base for free. And we will play on here in the bottom of the 4th as a couple of walks now here from Munoz. Puts Fierros over at second after his leadoff walk, and now Lallum over at first. Coming up next to the plate for the Patriots, going to be number 5, Tristan Miller, the catcher. First time up, he struck out looking, and so I'm going to guess he might be a little bit more aggressive this time.
Yeah, Tristan, he had a really good 7th grade season for the Pirates on their high school baseball season, but this year coming in, looking at the stats, he kind of struggling to hit the ball a little bit this year. I think he was removed from the team due to some academic issues, but no grudges were held between coach and players. So always welcome to have kids. I think it's going to be a big lesson for him going forward in his high school career. But there's a lot of potential with Tristan. A lot of baseball that he's played in his 12 years of life between the Tioga Rec programs, but a lot of potential with this one.
Absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, I coached a lot of these younger guys for most of their baseball careers, and Tristan Miller was one of the most probably developed defensive catchers or players over in general, too. He played a lot of shortstop in his Little League days as well. So he's shown that. He's played high school catcher already, and obviously I think the tougher factor is for a lot of these guys is the bat with this young age as he pops one up in the middle of the field and taken care of by Munoz over there at shortstop, and that's going to be out number 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So after 4 innings, our score is still 10-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Patriots still struggling to get things going on offense, but we'll see if they can maybe hold the Blue Sox here for the first time in a couple innings after giving up 4 each of the past 2 innings. We head to the top of 5. We'll be right back here on Game Day Media.
As your local Ace Hardware, our store is a member of the largest retailer-owned hardware cooperative in the industry. Ace Hardware began as a small chain of stores in 1924 and has grown to include more than 4,600 stores in 50 states and more than 70 countries. As part of a cooperative, every Ace Hardware store is independently owned, from neighborhood Ace Hardware stores to lumberyards to supersized home centers. Each Ace Hardware is unique and tailored to meet the needs of its local community. We are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. As the helpful hardware folks in your community, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop on down to 119 North May Street, Tioga, North Dakota, or call them at 701-664-3309. Tioga Ace Hardware, helping you get things done. At Game Day Media, we are dedicated to promoting local athletes and local sports that captivate and inspire our North Dakota fan base. Our mission is to create unforgettable moments, connect people through shared experiences, and foster a sense of community. We strive to bring excitement and joy to enthusiasts while promoting values of teamwork, dedication, and fair play. Your sponsorship of Premier, Elite, and Diamond level packages will enable us to enhance the quality of our productions, expand our reach, and provide unparalleled coverage of various sporting activities and events. Your commitment to our cause has helped us invest in state-of-the-art equipment and improve the overall experience for our viewers and participants. If interested, please contact Randy Peterson at 701-641-1271 or David Peterson at 701-641-6030. Thank you for supporting Game Day Media by promoting and supporting high school athletics across Northwest North Dakota.
Smooth operating.
Welcome back to Patriot Field. Once again, Carter Longy, David Peterson with you for today's matchup between the Tioga Post 139 Patriots and the Surrey Blue Sox in town to take on the Patriots. They lead 10-0 in the top of the fifth inning on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. We have our first pitching change of the game. It's Uric Loveridge now on the mound for the Patriots in favor of Casey Odegaard. Odegaard moves over to shortstop where Loveridge was, so a pretty simple switch here for the Patriots. And Loveridge able to get the outside corner here on Vetter as he gets his first strikeout of the day. Vetter goes down looking. So out number one here taken care of by Loveridge in the top of the fifth.
It's a good move by Randy. You know, the Patriots, they're probably maybe waving the white flag at this point in time of the game and get Casey out of there. You know, I'm not real familiar with the pitch count as far as what that looks like in the Legion season, amount of days of rest or something like that. But as these Patriots push on, they're going to have another game after the 4th of July break. I believe they host Burlington, which is going to be another
Tough team.
Perennial power coming into Tioga. So they're going to want their pitchers ready, warmed up, ready to go. So they'll have Brendan Johnson back. But then after that, the schedule doesn't get a whole lot lighter for them either. They go over to Ray on Friday the 7th with, I think we're looking at trying to cover in a triangular between Tioga and Ray, the continuation of the postponement game that was on Monday afternoon. And then I think they're going to be playing Crosby too. So it's a good chance for us to get our name out there a little bit more. It was a hard hit ball.
Yeah, that one's ripped out into right field by Keikoa Munoz, and he's rounding first, headed for second. We'll see if he stretches for three this time, and no, he chooses not to, but another stand-up double for the third inning in a row for Keikoa Munoz.
And Keikoa, he knew there was a huge gap over there in right field, and Jaden Weathersby playing the right field position, decided to take the unconventional throw your glove at it to stop it, which I'm not sure that's maybe the right decision to make, but nonetheless, Keikoa is back on second base. Real nice-looking baseball player for Surrey.
Absolutely. So one out now here in the top of the fifth inning. Keikoa Munoz on second base. Now at the plate, his brother Kanoa. Loveridge tries a pickoff attempt. Unsuccessful.
If it was me and if I was the Patriots pitching staff, I wouldn't worry about the runners on base. I would worry about the task at hand and get the batters out, because the skill that we've seen in the 5 innings of play, it doesn't look like a pitch out or pick off like that is going to be likely, other than the very first Andrew Eady pickoff over a third, I guess.
Yeah, and that one's a little different too with Odegaard facing third. That's a much easier play to make.
Yeah. maybe caught sleeping a little bit, but that's probably a play that'll happen 1 out of 10 times. Fouled off the plate here.
I think another point worth mentioning, too, is kind of like you mentioned with the skill. Surrey's too skilled on the bags, for one thing, and also just the overall, to be completely honest, they're a little bit outmatched here skill-wise and experience-wise. So I think the thing that's probably best to focus on is just your pitchers making good pitches, and when balls are put in play, just fielders worry about making good plays, and just go get as many easy outs as you can rather than trying to make something happen.
Yeah, definitely. You have to worry about the batter. The batter is going to be doing the damage. The damage is going to be done when the rounding of the bases come on. But another heads-up play by Kanoa Munoz, telling his I'm assuming it's his brother, telling him to stay where you're at. It's good heads-up baseball play that you don't see a whole lot around this area, of kind of another coach out on the field letting him know, hey, hang tight, the ball's right here.
So Munoz gets down to first. Free base there as Loveridge walks him. And so runners at the corners now. It's both the Munozes. As now to the plate, number 18, Andrew Eady. 2 doubles and a single today. 3 for 3 at the plate so far. This one gets past Tristan Miller, and Keiko is going to stay put at third, but Kanoa is going to move over to second there as that one gets past Tristan Miller. Now looks like Casey Odegaard maybe going to give Yerk Loveridge a couple words of encouragement now. 1-0 count here for Eady and 1 out in the top of the 5th. Once again, our score 10-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. This one from Loveridge swung on and fouled off by Eady.
People they just made a public address. Randy Nessett on the public address announcing here down at Patriot Field in Tioga. One of our colleagues that I've worked with, Jim Prather, Carter, you kind of had him as a mentor, maybe through your senior season, is going through some pretty serious medical issues. He's kind of a walking miracle from what everybody has said and thought about Jim. But there's a big card that's been down at the community center here in Tioga. So if you have a chance, stop on over by the community center. It's currently down here at the game. Make sure you wish him well in his courageous battle towards cancer. I think that's probably a generalized medical term for his situation. But, Jim, if you're listening out there, we love you. We're praying for you. We're praying for a miracle. So make sure you get down, support the community center. I believe there's going to be a celebration of life for him, even though he is, thankfully still with us. But I haven't heard when that is going to be. But if we do hear something about that, we will definitely pass it along. But, Jim, we're praying for you, man. Wishing you all the best.
Absolutely, and Eady rips one out into center field. Fosberg collects and gets it in as Keikoa Munoz crosses home plate once again for Ace Hardware's run. And that is going to move our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard to 12-0 now in the top, 11-0 at the top of the 5th inning. I thought that was a little bit off, but as Eady bats him in with a single. Over at third now is Kanoa Munoz. And at the plate once again, number 26, Will Mayo. He surprisingly is 0 for 2 today. Strikeout, a flyout, and a walk so far here for the first baseman. 1-0 from Loveridge, swung on missed by Mayo. 1-1 now the count, 1 out, and runners at the corners for the Blue Sox. One and one now, down low and away. 2 balls and a strike now for Loveridge as he's working against Mayo. This one going to be outside, and now 3-1 on Will Mayo. And Tioga needs to kind of do some damage control here. Try not to give up any more runs here in the top of the 5th, and then they're going to have to pick up a couple by themselves in the bottom to avoid the 10-run rule, I believe, after 5 innings is still in place in Legion Ball. As this one's popped up over on the right side of the infield. Weston Lallam underneath it. Does he have a read on it? No, he does not. He loses it in the sun, and it drops down for another score for the Blue Sox. As coming across home plate is Kanoa Munoz. And Mayo now stands at first, along with Eby moving over to second base. At the plate now is number 8, Evan Percival, the catcher, and still waiting on his first pitch there as Loveridge attempted a pickoff attempt on Andrew Eby over there at second base, and of course unsuccessful once again. Runners at first and second, and 1 out for the Blue Sox. This one appears to have caught Percival on the backside there as he lightly jogs down to first base, and the bases are now juiced for number 24, Luke Wegner, the right fielder, coming to the plate with a chance to drive in a few more runs here for the Blue Sox. Loveridge's first pitch is swung on and fouled off by Luke Wegner. Wegner so far today is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a double. This one swung on and put into play out into shallow left field. And so coming home to score a run will be number 18, Andrew Eby, as it's another RBI single for Luke Wegner. And the bases will also stay loaded here for the Mustangs. Once again, another Ace Hardware run across the plate for the Blue Sox. 13-0 now on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. This one's going to be a strike, though, to number 2, Wyatt Fimrite, the left fielder. 0-1 the count, 1 out. Really quick, too, I don't think we mentioned yet, Casey Odegaard went 4 innings today, gave up 9 hits, 10 runs, striking out 6 batters while walking 5.
It's a tough outing for him. You know, it was they got to throw their best pitcher, and I think the way the cards fell today, Casey was going to be the best pitcher for the Patriots to give them a chance to win. So they are, again, you can't dote them enough for the amount of skill that the Blue Sox have for coming over from Surrey. But the game has to be played. Most likely, if Tioga doesn't get at least 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, this is going to most likely be a 10-run rule. But then they'll play a non-counter 5-inning game following that.
2-2 now to Fimrite, and he puts this one on the left side of the left field line, so it'll stay 2-2.
You know,
Worth mentioning, too, that really quick, Odegaard, there was 10 runs scored while he was in the game, but there was also 3 errors, so I would have to assume that those probably weren't all earned runs either.
Yeah, definitely some unearned runs. You know, one was hit at the feet of Weston Lallam over at second base, misplayed it through his legs. That got a run. As Urick's kind of getting a little high with the pitch. But talk about the Freedom Fest coming up with this 4th of July activities. There's a lot of stuff going on in Tioga here as Urick delivers.
This one's going to be low, so Fimrite will take first base for free as that walks in Mayo and sends Wegner to third. Percival to third, Wegner to second, and Fimrite, of course, will head down to first after that 4th ball.
On Friday, our scoreboard, the Tioga Medical Center scoreboard for our game day media, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., there is a Busting Out in Color sponsored by the Tioga Medical Center. I'd imagine you'd meet up at the Hill. Carter, it's probably something you're going to enter is a 5K. You look to be a quite aggressive 5K runner.
Yeah, probably not, David. Definitely not. That's out of the question at this point in my life, I think.
Okay, we'll check you down as no.
All right.
Okay.
How about you? You heading out?
No, absolutely not. I'll go maybe eat a hot dog or something like that. But Saturday, July 1st, that's kind of when everything fires up. That's when the 5K is at, starting at 5:30 in the morning. It says from 5:30 or 7:30 to 8. I wouldn't be done with a 5K in a half hour, but maybe most people are. At 9 o'clock, there's a patriotic home contest that's put on by the Tioga community. From 10 a.m., the parade, and the Grand Marshal is the veteran, Mr. Arlo Moberg. The parade is going to be lining up at the high school, so make sure you get out there and check out the parade. The Legion Auxiliary will be having their flags. They carry the colors for the parade. They do a very nice job. The Grand Marshal, the Commander Scott Post, has a Jeep that they put them on. They get their uniforms out. And it's just real nice, a real start, good start to the Patriot Fest here, Freedom Fest here in Tioga. Continuing on, they have a vendor show, craft and vendor show that goes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. down at the community center, down at Main Street.
Full count here for Marcus Hughes. That one gets away from Urick Loveridge once again. He's going to walk in another run here as Evan Percival will come in from third base. Wegner over to third. Fimrite over to second. And now Hughes up to first. That's going to move our score to 15-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard.
And then at 11 a.m. over in the Tioga Parks, the 12th annual Freedom Fest softball tournament takes place on the softball field diamonds in Tioga. If you want to get a hold of that, make sure you call Pat Elbert, 701-641-7588. They're always looking for teams. And at 12, this is something you and I are probably interested in, Carter. That's the Freedom Fest concessions. They got Freedom Fest concessions, and then from 11:30 to 1, they got a community barbecue sponsored by KS Industries. KSI, a big employer in the area. And then at 1 o'clock, they have a program that honors our veterans. From 1 to 3, they have fun with firemen. My kids will probably be at that. You should probably go to that. You're still a kid, right? Kid at heart?
I'd say I'm probably a bit more mature than you are, David.
At times, maybe.
2-0 the count here for Brighton Vetter at the plate for the second time this inning.
From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., the Norseman Museum is open on 108 Wheelo Street North. At 3 p.m., there's a second annual Freedom Fest Cornhole Tournament. And then at 9 to 12:30, there's a street dance sponsored by the Tioga 2002 Centennial Committee with the band featuring Slamabama under the tent on Main Street. Always good entertainment, real good band. Seen them a couple different times. Excellent stuff. If you're in the area, make sure you get out there and take advantage of these opportunities that are going on in Tioga. We fast forward to Sunday, July 2nd at 10 a.m. The community church service is underneath the tent on Main Street. From 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, there's an antique and collectibles flea market going on at the Tioga Community Center. Again, the Norseman Museum is open on Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. And on Tuesday, the granddaddy of them all, on Tuesday, July 4th, it kicks off with a four-person golf scramble out at the beautiful Tioga Country Club at 10 a.m. with a shotgun start at 11 a.m. The flea market's open again from 10 to 3 down at the community center. The home judging will be completed at 5.
So really quick, we just had a strikeout there by Brighton Vetter. It's the second out of the inning, and coincidentally enough, Vetter comes up with both outs so far for Surrey as Loveridge is able to strike him out. First time looking, second time swinging, and Keikoa Munoz back at the plate looking for a fourth double in a row.
Everything kind of happening out at the Tioga Golf and Country Club on Tuesday, July 4th at 7 p.m. The entertainment by the Music Machine, sponsored by the Bank of Tioga. At dusk is what everybody waits for, is the fireworks show. Make sure you get out there and get a good spot. The Tioga Fire Department and the city employees put on a beautiful display of fireworks out at the Tioga Golf Course. So make sure you get out there. A lot of information. Check the Tioga Freedom Fest Facebook page for a lot more information. We'll try to run it by you again here.
So Keikoa Munoz, just as I had said before I let David continue there, did pick up his fourth stand-up double in a row. And for the fourth time in a row, it is a hit out to right field over Jaden Weathersby's head. And he drives in 2 runs with that one, including sending Marcus Hughes over to third. And so our score is now 17-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard as Kanoa Munoz rips one into left field. And this one is collected by Nevada Meyer. And this nightmare inning is thankfully over for the Patriots. They give up 7 runs there to the Blue Sox. Now they trail 17-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll see if Tioga can put some runs on the scoreboard here before we get out of this first game. Stick around. We'll be right back on Game Day Media.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center. Great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day.
The Bank of Tioga, with locations in Tioga and Crosby, North Dakota. Come and talk to us about all your financial needs. Whether it's agriculture, business, investments, or personal banking, we have the right product for you. Call our Tioga Bank at 701-664-3388 or our Crosby Bank at 701-965-6333 to discuss your needs with us. Ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga. As your local Ace Hardware, our store is a member of the largest retailer-owned hardware cooperative in the industry. Ace Hardware began as a small chain of stores in 1924 and has grown to include more than 4,600 stores in 50 states and more than 70 countries. As part of a cooperative, every Ace Hardware store is independently owned, from neighborhood Ace Hardware stores to lumberyards to supersized home centers. Each Ace Hardware is unique and tailored to meet the needs of its local community. We are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. As the helpful hardware folks in your community, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop on down to 119 North May Street, Tioga, North Dakota, or call them at 701-664-3309. Tioga Ace Hardware, helping you get things done.
Welcome back to Patriot Field. Carter Longy and David Peterson here for what could be the final plate appearances here in this first counter game between the Patriots, and the Blue Sox. The Patriots trailing 17-0 here in the bottom of the fifth inning against the Blue Sox. And just as you heard in that commercial there, the Patriots probably could have used some of the helpful hardware folks today.
Yes, big thank you to Nathan Germanson and his team down at Ace Hardware in Tioga right on Main Street for coming on board, giving us a sponsorship. They're going to be our in-game sponsors. So when there's touchdowns, as you're doing, Carter, in-game scoring, that's their part of sponsoring and helping out as a liner.
Nevada Meyer finally able to get the bat going a little bit there for Tiogas. He hit one fairly hard up the middle there, and a little bit of trouble controlling it there for Munoz over at shortstop. And so Meyer able to reach first base there. First hit of the ball game for Tioga.
As his brother's probably saying, what in the heck, man? That's a routine play. It looked like he had it, kind of bobbled it from transition from glove to hand, kind of missed around with it, but I think it happens. I imagine if they're going to go home, they're probably going to question each other, asking, what the heck's wrong, man?
Yeah, I guess hard to say, too. It's kind of probably scorer's choice on hit or error, because Meyer was pretty deep up the baseline by the time it even got to Munoz to begin with. But I think there's probably a good chance he could have still thrown him out. Now at the plate for the first time today is number 18, Jaron Ron, in for Jaden Weathersby. And a pickoff attempt over there on Meyer at first is unsuccessful. Jaron Ron, another one of those very young players playing for this Legion team. And Ron actually still plays on the midgets team as well. He's that young enough where he can still play in the young league. So
yeah, he does. Tristan Miller does. Weston Lallam does. They're the youngest team. They put the red, white, and blue uniforms on, and they're the youngest. They could probably go play and be the absolute oldest on their division. You fast forward this probably 5 years from now, these kids are going to be those 19-year-olds playing for the Patriots. So everybody goes through those growing pains. These kids just can't get down in the dumps on situations like this. You kind of look at what Surrey has done to you and say that's what we want to do, and be able to put some motivation into it as Jaron Ron goes down swinging.
Munoz gets Ron to chase there. And so that'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. That's going to be strikeout number 7 on the day for Keikoa Munoz, who's had a good day on the mound. Runner on first, 1 out, and back to the plate once again today is number 9, Casey Odegaard, the pitcher. And Odegaard 0 for 2 today. I have to wonder if he's had any games so far this year where he hasn't gotten hit.
Yeah, he's pretty aggressive on the bases. He's pretty aggressive with the bat, but as baseball goes, you could be 3 for 10 and still considered good. So
absolutely.
With a 300 average, that's a very good average for baseball players. But they're getting their best from Casey. Casey's getting the best from everybody else that's throwing at him. So there's maybe a little bit more in the jar for these kids.
Again, coming into today's game, Odegaard batting .520 on the year. So he get really tied up there, though. That was a pretty gross pitch from Munoz right there.
Good gross.
Yeah,
that
was
filthy.
That was starting way outside and came all the way inside on Odegaard by the time it finally landed, and
isn't that what they call from 6 to midnight, or from midnight to 6, to where it just drops from the top of the zone and it just about catcher caught it back by his right foot.
I'd almost say that one came from like 1 to 7.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of movement on that pitch. It's a nice pitch.
So Odegaard went down swinging there. That's the 8th strikeout of the day for Munoz, and out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. And now Leverage going to have to put one in play here, or I guess get on base somehow to keep this game alive. 1-1 the count with 2 outs and a run on first, as our score is 17-0 on our Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. This one high and away to Yerk Leverage. I guess something else worth noting is, again, depending on how it's scored, if that initial ball in play to begin the inning by Nevada Meyer was considered an error rather than a hit, there's still a no-hitter going for Munoz on the mound right now.
Yeah, it's probably a note to be taken. But yeah, it's definitely whoever the official scorekeeper is, whether it be the home or I would imagine it's a home team as the official scorekeeper, but definitely run down and check. Probably not something that the head coach for the Tioga Patriots wants to discuss, but for sake of Kekoa's pitching future with the Blue Sox, it's definitely something that he should be considered for.
Runners at first and second for the Patriots. At the plate, number 14, James Fieros with 2 outs. Once again, trying to extend this game, but Patriots would need 8 runs this inning to keep it alive as Fieros fouls one off out of play. So 0-1 will be the count.
You know, I would think that if I was scoring the game like that, to me, where he got the ball at shortstop would be considered an error. That in my book, that probably would be an E6 on that play, just because of the ease of the play potentially in a baseball play. There's another big breaking ball.
Yeah, nice looking pitch there from Munoz as drops in there for strike number 2. So 1 strike away here for the Blue Sox from getting out of this game with a 17-0 win.
It's another one. You can tell when he goes for that breaking ball, it's real high. Maybe doesn't have enough of that middle finger grip on the seams to be able to deliver the curve to it.
Looks like he's got maybe just a slightly different arm slot too when he throws that breaking ball.
Yeah.
This one fouled off out of play as Mayo tried to hop the fence, but I'm pretty sure it went all the way outside the bullpen fence there, so not really sure.
Almost looked like a hurdle.
Why he really even tried that, but
looked like he's going to hurdle.
Good hustle, I guess.
Being 6'5", being able to get up over the fence, probably pretty easy for him.
1-2 now the count. Munoz the 1-2. Swung on and fouled off once again by Fieros, so Fieros keeping himself alive here. Fieros yet to have an official at bat yet today. Hit by a pitch and walked so far. 1-2 once more. Swung on and missed, and once again a great looking pitch from Kekoa Munoz. That's his 9th strikeout of the day, and that's going to end our ball game right there. So through 5 innings, it was the Surrey Blue Sox ending this one by a final score of 17-0. They had 14 hits on the ball game. Also helping them out was Tioga with 4 errors in the field. Certainly didn't help themselves. And again, we not completely sure what the official score ended up putting down there for that play from Nevada Meyer when he hit one to the shortstop Munoz. I guess Kanoa Munoz, that would be. But if it was scored as an error, which I believe I'm going to score it myself as an error, that would be a no-hitter there from Kekoa Munoz, who ends up going with 9 strikeouts. Hit a couple batters and also walked a few, but did not give up a hit this entire game in helping the Blue Sox win this one by a final score of 17-0. We're going to have another game coming up here. It's going to be a non-counter. This one is scheduled to go 5 innings beforehand, so we'll probably go 5 innings no matter what. In this next one, we'll step away, though, for about 15-20 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for game number 2 here between the Surrey Blue Sox and the Tioga Patriots right here on Game Day Media.
Inspired by a dream. That dream is now a reality. Our goal at Game Day Media is to provide a new way of watching high school sporting events in Northwest North Dakota through live audio video streaming services. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch and listen to all the action. We are looking for business sponsors to come on board with Game Day Media to help promote your business as we help to promote our area athletes during our broadcasts. Contact David or Randy Peterson for further details on how you can become a sponsor on Game Day Media. Game Day Media, more than a game.
The Bank of Tioga, with locations in Tioga and Crosby, North Dakota. Come and talk to us about all your financial needs. Whether it's agriculture, business, investments, or personal banking, we have the right product for you. Call our Tioga Bank at 701-664-3388 or our Crosby Bank at 701-965-6333 to discuss your needs with us. Ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center. Great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day. Inspired by a dream. That dream is now a reality. Our goal at Game Day Media is to provide a new way of watching high school sporting events in Northwest North Dakota through